Welcome back, Dota 2 fans, for our fourth game of the night, second series, TongFu versus Newbee.Young. TongFu able to take that game one, and apologies for perfect world issues, but either way, we got Heflamoke back with me. More rage, please, for this second game of this series. Not sure if you're able to catch any of that, Hefla, but any thoughts on what Newbee need to do in this one to be able to bring it to a draw?
I don't know, it just didn't work out. That's the whole thing. They wanted a full protect one, run the mana burn lineup, but it just didn't work out in the end. Some misplays here and there, like too much pressure, too much push, too much pick off by TongFu. Just better played, better executed. Like I was actually able in somewhere during your cast to rejoin and get a somewhat not laggy server, but I was like, okay. You did it like almost half an hour without me, so you might as well finish.
Thanks for leaving me out to dry. I appreciate that. Either way, yeah, I feel like the Nyx Assassin pick just really didn't pan out for them. I felt like the rest of their lineup was more or less pulling their weight, but coming out of the mid lane and really not getting much done at all. It was definitely a detriment to Newbee.Young's lineup. Also, the Omni Knight pick, I mean, you said it. We've never seen it thus far, and it really worked out well with the Storm
None
Spirit.
of the Chinese tournaments, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, this is the very, very, very first Omni Knight we had in ESCC, in G League, as well as in Douyu TV Cup. So, yes, and it worked fine. Like, I mean, I don't know why we don't have more Omnis.
Yeah, it allowed the Storm Spirit to go a fairly greedy item build as well, and didn't need that BKB up against what was a heavily magic damage oriented lineup from Newbee.Young. So definitely a nice fifth pick coming out from TongFu, and it shows how versatile they really are, despite it being not your quote unquote meta hero.
Yep, and that being said, now we have pretty much the standards already coming through, but well, Queen of Pain again secured by TongFu. We have Bounty Hunter coming up, and that's as a first pick. That's very interesting, to be honest. But, well, the Gyrocopter got through, which is very interesting, because usually that's definitely a ban. He kind of crystallized out as one of the very successful hero. The win rate in this tournament only is very high, so that's why the teams kind of shifted towards him banning and then rather accepting the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, definitely a strong pickup there, and combos decently well with both the heroes that Newbee.Young have picked up. So definitely it's going to be a rough early go for TongFu's Bounty Hunter if he's detected at any point. So definitely needs to be a little bit careful. We've seen a lot of Chinese teams here in the last couple of tournaments use this Bounty Hunter to great effect. We've also seen it be a complete flop. So it'll be interesting to see how TongFu is able to utilize it. Generally, we'll see Kabu pick that up. Sometimes LPC as well. But U9's Queen of Pain is very, very effective. And he is always super potent on these tempo controlling heroes.
Yep, and now we get a Witch Dog, so finally we also get some disable in. I mean, on Newbee.Young side, we already have a hookshot, we have a rocket, we have a lot of slows, obviously. Also interrupts if you count the battery assault, and now with the Earthshaker, that's a big fat force. Not to mention that now with the Shadow Fiend, we get a second physical core, of course, in. But both of these cores have also the opportunity to dish out a lot of magic damage, obviously. Gyrocopter earlier than the Shadow Fiend, but yeah. That is very hard to actually overcome for TongFu. I kind of like this draft already for Newbee.Young. After this very experimental, maybe even old meta draft, they go for the current meta, very solid. And on the other side, we get a Templar Assassin. That's a question mark for me because of Rocket Barrage.
Yeah, TA, very interesting pick, not something we see all that often recently. I really love Newbee.Young's draft and how well they scale. Their cores are relevant pretty much all game long in the Clock, Gyro, and the Shadow Fiend, as you mentioned. Have that early fight potential, also scale well into the late game. The TA is a nice mid matchup against the Shadow Fiend. I guess that's really a very tunnel vision type pick. They're going to pick that up. Usually against the Queen of Pain, you throw the Earthshaker there early on, you throw a Fisher, a couple raises, burn her regen a bit, and it secures a decent to good lane matchup for the Shadow Fiend. So maybe with the TA there, Newbee.Young is a little bit less likely to go that route. But yeah, overall, not sure how effective this TA can be in this pickup. Minus armor is definitely nice, though.
Yep, I mean there is minus armor, a lot of damage, a lot of burst damage coming out, some map control with the side traps. He can really get a lot of targets together, but um, still, if the gyrocopter, for example, is around the area, then reflection charges won't last long if he's really the target. That's right next to the gyrocopter. All the others, they're decent. Like
Mhm.
their reflection really protects you for a long time. The charges should hold up, but yeah, I'm worried about the gyrocopter. But maybe if they blow him up or he's not part of the fight, then the Templar Assassin I think can go free.
Yeah, last pickup gonna be definitely somewhat of an odd one as well for Newbee.Young, much like TongFu did in game one. They're gonna pick up the Bane here. Fiend's Grip, of course, very nice against the Queen of Pain, and perhaps that's where that pickup comes through. Also, the Enfeeble is pretty decent against the TA, and they're going to rely on her right clicks quite a bit. Still no tick damage aside from that Rocket Barrage, essentially, as you mentioned earlier, for the Refraction. So TA should have a decent time up against these supports and should have a good laning phase, to say the very least. Still feel like Newbee.Young are scaling a little bit better. But still, one more pick to come out from TongFu here. We'll see how greedy they go with this one.
Yep, the Bane we only. I mean, it's not the first. We saw him like I think a couple of times, maybe 3 times. Who knows? Um, the Bane is kind of nice to get some denies out. We also have the initiation. As for interrupt right now on the Bane, there would be Orchid if we get it on the Queen of Pain. There would be the Shuriken Toss as well as the Coconut flying out by the Witch Dog. Other than that, we don't really have much. And um, if you see that some of these abilities are either far away or the targets are dead, then you might really get a full scale ultimate through. Not to mention that if there are ganks, it's not a full out fight, then this ultimate is really valuable. Holding the Temple Assassin, no melding away, no blinking, no running. The same for the Queen of Pain. The blink is taken out, and wow,
Very
okay, the
greedy.
greed
Yes.
is
I,
real.
I asked you how greedy you thought they would go, and they responded, wow, that's an off-lane Queen of Pain. I was going to say that they don't have many ways to cancel the Fiend's Grip, as you were kind of just touching upon. They have the Shuriken Toss, the Cask, but that's pretty much it, aside from maybe an Orchid pickup. So at least the Gust gives them another ability to do that there. The Precision Aura, obviously going to be very nice. Queen of Pain, Templar Assassin, Drow Ranger, all going to benefit from that. And even the Witch Doctor, who has great early right click. But still, very greedy draft here. Queen of Pain can definitely be punished by Bane, Earthshaker, Gyrocopter. So we'll see how TongFu want to lane list. I mean, time and time again, they've proved to us how versatile they are. But this is a risky lineup, to say the least.
Yeah. Because I also don't see much synergy between the draw and the rest of them except for the minus armor. But well, I'm looking forward to this. I'm also looking forward how he's gonna build that draw ranger because in the past I've seen quite amazing draw ranger plays where they really just went for stats, all stats, sometimes even skipping the lifesteal, which was a very amazing build. The damage, if a draw hits you and you have nothing to actually shut him down or just kill him, it's ridiculous what kind of damage is coming out of a draw ranger. So that hero is still not nerfed or anything. He's just as potent as he always has been. Plus, they have 4 ranged heroes. It's quite nice what's coming out of there. Anyway,
Yeah,
let's introduce him really fast.
It'll secure definitely a nice landing stage. Already 3 Slippers of Agility for Xin-Q. TongFu, Dire Side, are going to go towards the safe lane with Xin-Q's Drow Ranger and Kabu's Witch Doctor. Over towards that mid lane, U9 going to be playing on the Templar Assassin, and LPC roaming around on the BH, and finally Zex Bingo on that offlane Queen of Pain.
Yeah, in the offlane we're gonna have Ivy playing against that very, very deadly lane. And right now sitting at the bottom room we have the Bane played by Melody Lovers, Piao on the Gyrocopter, then the mid core is SC and MR should be on the Earthshaker. And they did not scout out what actually happened here. Actually they did. They saw the bounty pop on that ward. So there it goes. Instant D ward. 100 gold down each side. But that's pretty much it.
LBC will secure himself a little bit of rune vision here, and perhaps block up this large camp as well. So we'll at least stop the pull-throughs. Zex Bingo going to catch, a Fisher there, but we'll be just fine.
That just looked hilarious. Like bottom, they were just caught in the Fisher, both of them, and dot dot. By the way, I still haven't figured out what that means. Like the Chinese admins and players in the lobby, like every time they use like 2 or 3 dots as like some sort of reply. I have no idea what it means. Like, if I write that, it's like, you know, me trying to insult you, but just out of
Right.
being polite, I'm writing dot dot dot.
Yeah, interesting to know what the heck that means in their culture. But either way, LPC rotating around mid lane looking for a courier snipe. And he won't find one just yet. As the little pudgeling can be able to walk up towards the high ground there. SCC going to be accompanied, just for now at least, by MRR, who is stacking a camp, and it's going to be blocked up by LPC. MRR has the Fisher available, and is just going to trade a few right clicks with the BH for now. Other than that, bot lane's X-Bingo has been pincered here by Melody Lovers, but no mana for the Nightmare, just 5 mana short of that. Already, though, the Queen of Pain taking quite a bit of punishment and only has 1 Tango remaining.
Yeah, also top that little man fight, Witch Dog versus Clockwork, and forced out 1 Tango, actually 2 Tangos already, as well as the Salve, and Bull Bounty Hunter taken down in the mid. That was surprise, surprise.
Yeah, it looks like Fisher probably hit him from range there. As MRR just clearing up now, but LPC was getting a bit low after trading mid, and so nice kill going the way of Newbee.Young. They'll pick up the first blood on the way to what they hope is going to be a draw in this game 2 series, game 2 of a best of 2. Other than that, pretty stagnant as we expect during this laning stage. X-Bingo going to be accompanied now by LPC bottom. The Dire Ward probably saw Melody rotating over to the rune, but still no aggression just yet from LPC and X-Bingo.
Yeah, and actually the Earthshaker wasn't involved in that kill. It was really just the Shadow Fiend. Thanks to that Sentry Ward, which they popped, thanks, yeah, to the Bounty Hunter being so often picked in China, you can expect in the mid always a Sentry Ward. There's sometimes really a Sentry fight in the mid going on where you have like 600 gold pumped into Sentry Wards forth and back, and this time the Bounty Hunter, he completely underestimated the triple raise of a Shadow Fiend, leading to that first blood right here. But also, let's see, Bane. Nope, it's not gonna happen. What I would like to see actually with the Bane is that he goes for 1 point in Rocket whenever he can afford it, like on level 5 or then level 7. Because we have a Nightmare into Rocket, it's a guaranteed stun pretty much unless someone takes it off, and then you go directly into Rocket Barrage. So even level 1 is it's more than 2 seconds stun. Yeah, and that means you get a full Rocket Barrage into a solo target if nicely played.
Yeah, I mean, you're right that we don't see the Gyro picking up the homing missile all that often, but it feels like right at the start of the patch he did quite a bit after the nerfs to his intelligence for Rocket Barrage. But yeah, definitely synergizes decently well with that Nightmare, so could see it picked up here in this laning stage. Over on top, Xinqiu and Kabu really deep behind the tier 1 here. Iwi not looking very healthy at all, but no rotations in just yet. MRR going to rotate in with the Fisher, and Kabu getting pretty low. They are going to be able to pincer him up. Battery Assault going to come through, but the cask bouncing through beautifully. Iwi going to be brought down first. Kabu still with big right clicks, and the Maledict out onto MRR should be able to bring him down. 2 kills going the way of the safe lane for TongFu, and Xinqiu with a great start along with his Witch Doctor.
Yep, that was absolutely value coconut. Oh, but Bane, where's this Queen of Pain? Both of them could open. The Bounty had actually taken Nightmare off, so she can grab the rune. So that's absolutely fine. Like, at the moment, they're doing well. I mean, Brains Up is available, and he should probably use it really fast. He thought the Bounty Hunter is somewhere in the region, but he's absolutely not. Right now, he's far, far away, and they might as well just go for the Bane. But now he's under the Sentry Ward. Okay, that's bad news. The Brains Up being used, Bane to decent HP now. I think that's pretty much the end of all of this clashing.
Yeah, Rocket Barrage used there. LPC barely able to outrun it. Luckily for him, or could have gotten very low, but either way, yeah, X-Bingo doing a little bit better than I would have assumed he would in this lane, and that's because MRR has been pretty much rotating around all game long. Meanwhile, Gyro dead? Bot lane?
Yep. Opening of the Bounty Hunter into Queen of Pain, like Harass was there already before, Shadow Strike, Scream level 1 only, but it was enough for a kill. Like, Gyrocopter is fairly low HP target. I was also surprised they get him down that fast. Just caught it like the tail on end of it.
Apologies for missing that one, boys. But either way, 3-1 is your score. 5 minutes in, and Newbee.Young still looking fine. The Gyrocopter was farming decently well, but on the other side of things, Xinqiu with being involved in those couple of kills and having complete free farm, looking great on the Drow Ranger, and of course The U9 matchup mid is a favorable one for this TA. So he's looking good as well.
Yeah, what I also always like is that TongFu runs like a double bottle lane. That's fairly interesting. They have a nice management around the runes and everything. They at least secure mostly one side of the rune that goes for one bottle, and the rest is then the courier. But also we were asking about the greediness of this draft, and yes, it's goddamn greedy. While they get the kill on the Earthshaker in the jungle, the Shadowfiend is trying to do something. They're trying to come in, but well. The bounty is already hiding, Queen of Pain running away, getting the next rune. Jesus Christ, the rotation here with the bounty hunter, it's just working out, but so fast.
Great play. He scouts him out. They blink in the Queen of Pain, Shadow Strike, and they Delta Split so as to avoid this Fissure, and then with that Shuriken easily bring down the Earthshaker there with a full mana pool. LPC definitely doing work as you mentioned early on, and Zexbingo is almost level 6 on this offlane Queen of Pain 6 minutes into the game. Doing way too well. And as you mentioned, the greed really not being punished for TongFu here.
No, absolutely not punished. I mean, for this, you should do better in these lanes, but TongFu now 3 kills ahead. The Queen of Pain, you barely notice the difference between offlane and mid lane. She's decent in XP. She's level 6 now, which means the next time we have a Sonic Wave involved. With that, you can easily blow up a Gyrocopter, for example. If they go on a Gyrocopter right now, that should be a kill. Maybe she's even trying, but oh, nightmare on her. It's getting interrupted as well. The bounty hunter this time not in range. I think if he would have just joined that fight, it might have been an easy kill.
Cheeky play by LPC. He's going to block up one of the stacks here for SCC. And it's still going to be a triple stack, but he's eating the experience from it. All the meanwhile, picks up his level 4 here. And they do ping him out, so they notice that they didn't get quite the influx that they would have wanted from that stack. But SCC still picks up the gold. And that'll be able to allow him to finish the treads fairly soon. He's got them flying out as well as his bottle.
Yep, still, I mean, I'm not so sure if like blocking and legendary XP there was really worth it, because they could have gotten that Gyrocopter kill, like him surviving with like 40 HP. I think that was worth the bounty rotation. Sonic Wave now obviously on a high cooldown, 135 seconds. So, no, that's not really happening. There's a nice Fissure blocking out not just the TA, also the Shadowfiend. Now, that's kind of hilarious. Like, this was supposed to be the Shadowfiend's rune, and now he also has to wait. In the meantime, oh, they jump on the Bane already, but this time Queen of Pain really low. There's the last strike click going in. They do not have any vision on the bounty hunter, so they're not going to get the revenge kill on this one, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. As long as the Gyrocopter survives and gets kills off support, that's fine. Just
big be the other way around as well. Killing spree gold going the Gyro's way. 571 gold for him.
The clockwork. There's the stun. Is there a Maledict as well? Yes, he's in the cogs. One more hit, and that should just do the trick. Even without Maledict, that was an easy kill. 4 points. Position R now triggered as well. And just had 1 value point in Frost, which, by the way, we don't often see. Like, mostly they skip completely.
I hate when players skip Frost Arrows on draw.
Why?
It's 15% slow. It's so good. You're not even using your mana if you don't get it. I just don't understand. I'm not Arteezy though, so don't ask me. But either way, Xin-Q gonna secure himself a kill there, top lane, and yeah, 2 Wraith Bands and the treads already hitting very hard, as you mentioned with the Precision Aura, helping out U9 as well, who has the full Aquila, 900 gold. On top of that, 6-2 for TongFu, and it feels like it's their game right now. You take a look at the net worth, and Xin-Q leading and U9 close to follow. And look at Zexbingo, he's almost neck and neck with a safe lane Gyrocopter in net worth.
Yeah, I mean, Queen of Pain worked out, and thanks to that heavy weight in mid and offline on like TongFu's side, we have totally free farm of the Draw Ranger, who can now easily go on the jungle, can clean up everything. At this point, I think we see one of... Oh, never mind. They're already fighting, but Bounty Hunter this time not having the mana to actually go back. There should be a second Rocket Barrage with the Raise the Shadowfiend is actually earlier, just killing him off right there. So they just make this 1-1 trade. But still, it's support for supports, and yeah, they push in the mid in the meantime. So TongFu still better and just outmaneuvering Newbee.Young at the moment.
Yeah, we've really talked about, I mean, the feast or famine nature of these bounty hunter picks, and as you mentioned, just disrupting that whole early game, forcing their Shaker over towards that mid has really worked out. Meanwhile, MMR are going to take quite a bit of damage here. Psionic Trap going to pop as well. Fissure will keep Zexbingo back as his blink is on cooldown here, but yeah, going back to my point there, the BH just doing so much work and allowing Zexbingo to get a lot of space here. Level 8 on this Queen of Pain now.
Yep, definitely. And well, we already showed the net worth. What I tried to say before we had to jump in that fight was that I think we're gonna see one of the earliest Roshan for this Chinese tournament, simply because, yeah, now they actually do it. Just as I say, Draw Ranger going in that smoke was not for the enemy jungle, it was really for Roshan. This is an 11-minute Roshan. I think this is a record for this tournament, for all of the Chinese tournaments right now. Well, Witchdog at the moment getting quite a beating, but Draw Ranger should be able to just tank this up. If TA comes in with 4 points on Refraction, that is easy go. An additional minus armor plus medallion. Look at it go. And, well, Queen of Pain is the one picking it up. I think this is the perfect situation because she's the one in the fights committing to it. She can go down and then just blink out after the Aegis.
Yeah, she's been the hyper-aggressive one for sure. And the refraction charges, as we mentioned in the draft, are going to keep U9 safe more often than not. So definitely a nice decision to put the Queen of Pain Aegis there.
That poor bounty. Caught by the Clockwork, just surrounded, completely surrounded. Would have been even a solo kill for the Clockwork, but the Gyrocopter is coming in, grabbing that experience as well. Nicely shared.
Melody Lovers bottom. Going to be scouted out by the wave here. Zexbingo thinking about going. Has the Aegis. So maybe jumps in. Pretty much a scream. Sonic Wave will kill off this Bane, but gonna play it safe for now. Will Zexbingo perhaps wait for his teammates before he just blows an Aegis? We'll have the TP coming in from LPC towards the tower. And the Bounty
Hunter is coming in. He's level 6, so there would be a track, and that of course is also kind of needed because if the Bane gets in between, for example, the Brain Sap in, I think he will survive, and then he might be able to deny himself. But at the moment, he's hiding behind the tower. This could also be a bait. This could be a typical Bane bait. As soon as they go on him, you might have a rainbow of TPs on a tier 1 tower. So for now, I think they just, hold back the horses and not go crazy with it. But oh, look in the mid. This was to be Kabu's little shining hour. But, well, at the moment, he's just going to make it out. The hook should commit it just to get this kill. But this was too greedy, my friend. Oh, but bottom instead.
Yeah, they're jumping in. Psionic Trap going to be popped, though. Sonic Wave onto 2, and the Bane going to be blown up with that Meld Strike. Requiem does get off, but Zexbingo able to TP out, and the track is keeping vision onto SCC. The Shuriken will be there. He will find the return kill onto LPC. U9, 2 seconds until Refraction is up, is able to meld, and with the haste and the Refraction, should be able to rotate out. Zexbingo still alive with the Aegis as well.
Yep, Aegis kept alive, and again, all this is happening. Well, there's the TP. Does he make it? Yes, he make it. Rock Barrage. That's what I've been saying all the time in the draft. Like, it just eats too fast through refraction charges. This was almost 4 stacks of refraction eaten through, and then still enough damage with right clicks and Rocket Barrage. However, it was already a good trade. They kept the Aegis, and the Draw Ranger just got a tier 2 tower while all this is happening. He's like, don't notice me, senpai.
Just playing PvE this game. He was the absolute linchpin of the lineup last game on that Storm Spirit, but really just silently getting map objectives in this one. 2-0-1 on the Drow Ranger, but second overall on net worth. It feels like U9 bot lane there was trying to bait a support in or something, knowing that Zexbingo is still nearby with the Aegis, but yeah, gets caught out by the exact target he didn't want to show up in that gyro. And a nice cleanup kill by Newbee, but as you mentioned, still good trade overall over the map for TongFu, and now the Desolator picked up 14 minutes in for the TA.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. Like, TA Desolator that early. I mean, 14 minutes in, that on top of a Draw Ranger who is that farmed already. What does he do with, like, the 1.8k? Well, actually, he buys something. Ah, yeah, okay. It's just a normal Yasha, but all bottom. Yeah, there's a nice go here on the Gyrocopter. He's gonna pop the call down. That might be enough for something more. No, Queen of Pain still surviving with the Aegis. So, Gyrocopter going down, and I think this marks the end of this tier 1 tower. There's not even a cliff available.
Yeah, with the Deso up, too easy. Clicks coming out from U9 and Jin Q. And U9 right now hitting for almost 300 damage with the refraction up. Mid lane.
And now that I think they're gonna go for a tier 2 tower, it looks. Because at the same time, well, Newbee tried to get a tier 1 tower, they were successful, but oh my god, Bounty Hunter, that's a very, very bad position. The Razors are coming through, but this is not really well executed. The Fisher was a tiny bit too late, so he actually makes it out. There is the Coconut just to make sure the retreat is all going well, but I think this could have been better played. Exactly the same picture as usual. While all this is going on, they're working on tier 2.
Yeah, they had the Psionic Trap to scout Piao as well, so they're able to completely dodge out this call down and maybe look to re-engage here. Psionic Trap going to slow up Piao. Last right click from XinQ brings down that tier 2. No one able to deny it. Meanwhile, Fiend's Grip was used on the side and immediately cancelled thereafter, it seems. Xbingo jumping forward for Melody Lovers, and with the Sonic Wave, they'll be able to bring him down and force back all of Newbee.Young. And the mech going to be used there, but a little bit too late to save that Bane. Overall, 2 kills going TongFu's way, and the Bounty Hunter surviving mid. They get to tier 2 as well, and now they may even get this tier 1 mid.
This is looking really bad at the moment for Newbee.Young, because they know they cannot really engage into these fights. Gyrocopter died before, now his cooldown was fairly early used. They just made a step back, killed the Clockwork who already initiated, but the rest of the team just didn't go through, so the team coordination just didn't work out. They lose obviously 2 heroes and 2 towers there on top. Like, the net worth at the moment is spiraling out of control. This is 12k advantage and climbing 16 minutes in, so almost I don't know, if they increase this, is like 1k net worth per minute.
Yep, it's about 750 net worth per minute right now. Orchid's going to come out for Xbingo. Blink comes out on top of the Deso for the TA right away. So those couple of towers and kills, big gold influx for the dire side.
Yeah, and now we have to see if that smoke of Newbee can actually make a difference. They might find someone, but the hook shot. Nice blink there by the TA. She just got that blink dagger after she went Deso first. And yeah, first time this item appears, and it actually does work.
Yeah, already paying dividends for that TA. Looking good all around. The track kills really paying off for TongFu here. They are going to farm up a couple of stacks towards the Ancients for U9. And looking very healthy on the TA in terms of the item progression. In terms of hero levels right now, TA top on the board at 13. Shadow Fiend only at 11 alongside Xbingo from the offline. And XinQ and the Gyrocopter both a level 12 for Piao.
Yep, and now the question is, of course, TongFu, what are they doing at this point? Are they, I mean, they are greedy. And with a greedy draft, you're leading. So what else is there to do? You have 2 options. Either you risk and you go aggressive, or you just go, I don't know, hold back and really make it an insane amount of lead you have. But first, I think, yeah, they might go for that Earthshaker here. There will be the interrupt and the easy kill, also a track kill, obviously. So yes, there is more gold to come.
I feel like the answer to your question is that TongFu definitely looking to go aggressive here. 2 Blink Daggers, Drow, and the U9 TA. They have the Blink on the Queen of Pain naturally, of course. So with the Orchid, 2 Blinks available, it definitely seems like they're looking to get aggressive. And with that Desolator, can definitely take map objectives shortly thereafter any kills.
Yep, definitely. And well, it comes down to, yeah, TongFu seem to be interested in a push, or are they? Nope, Joe is just heading back. So I think just the roamers at the moment, they stay here, look for some other kills like the Gyrocopter, and this should also be an easy kill. There's a track. Is there slow? Nope, nothing is really coming out, but I think they could have if they wanted to. Oh, Bounty. Well, there's the hookshot. They want both kills pretty much. That's why they're gonna commit to all of this. Nice Fisher holding them in place, but also holding the rest of the team pretty much back. With this coconut and a double Maledict, he actually could have made the play of his life there, but Kabu going for the safe route pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, there was still a nightmare from Melody. But they're going to jump forward. U9's there with the Sonic Wave onto 2. Xbingo getting low, and they will bring down the Bane. Piao getting super low as well. The Rocket Flare, though, going to do some scouting. Xbingo trying to go for the jump screen. Does have the regeneration rune now that he backs off as well. But unable to bring down Piao. Makes it away with a sliver of HP. Meanwhile, XinQ pushing in the bot lane is going to force a reaction out from the Radiant side.
So in the end, it's still a horrible trade. I mean, also the Bane, like he was like in between. Do I run, maybe survive? Do I brain zap and then run and most likely die? So he kind of did the first, then decided for the second, and in the cast animation, he just got the last punch in the face. And again, and I gotta repeat this all over this game, while all this is happening, Joe Ranger is farming on an incredible pace.
Yeah, U9 farming heroes, it seems, as well. Still keeping up and even surpassing the Drow in net
Yep.
worth. But there's only one remaining outer tier tower for the Radiant side now. So the bastions of defense to their base are very limited at this point, and the pressure being applied by these 3 blinks plus a bounty hunter is really rearing its ugly head for the Radiant side. Track going to be thrown up onto Melody Lovers. And now they have some information about the location of this Radiant squad. Is NQ going to blink down to the low ground?
That is a very aggressive one. Unfortunately, nothing to actually interrupt there, but wow, Drow Ranger looking.
That's when you chat wheel, I immediately regret my decision and TP out.
That blink forward was very, very strange. But still, I mean, we already said, like, looking here at the golden XP chart, they're both at the moment. U9 is running 600, almost 600 GPM. The same for XPM. Xingqiu is even losing on him at the moment because apparently killing heroes with track and some farming here on top of it is faster than the Drow farm. And the Drow, wow, I mean, he has like all the choices in the world. He could go for anything. Like, there's nothing holding him back.
Yeah, it's definitely an easy man to pick up if you want it to be. Even NB.Y works out here. He can pretty much pick whatever he wants at this point, and will do quite a bit of damage already. Precision Aura doing work here, and we see Roshan just completely melt with both the minus armor from the meld.
Rosh is out. Templar Assassin this time taking the Aegis, which is interesting because I thought she's one of the most survivable ones, like with the highest survivability. But the fact is also, oh, never mind, Drow Ranger being very cocky there top, and yeah, Clockwork finds the initiation here, but gosh, out of the cog still. It should be enough damage. They have to be careful though. Is there any side rotation? No, they're not gonna punish this one.
Yeah, so the Drow Ranger going down for the first time in this one.
Check the gold. Trade for this.
Yeah, taking a look at the fight recap, and 1,800 to those 3 heroes there. Also 2,400 experience, so worth quite a bit was Xingqiu on that Drow Ranger.
He was worth 800 gold without being on a killing spree or mega kill or something like that. That's ridiculous. How is that even possible?
No Rubik to steal track either, so...
Yeah, please give us more Rubiks, but that didn't really work out. To be honest, right now, Newbee.Young would probably be better off with the Rubik instead of the Bane, because so far the Bane really is lacking to make the plays. The original idea was to boost the Gyrocopter with that, have a nice setup, but that never really happened. Instead, they lost the safe lane, and now the Bane is really just, there to tick up with the gold and place wards, pretty much.
Full 10-second BKB completed on the TA now, on top of the Aegis for U9. So Xingqiu probably going to reconvene with his teammates here mid lane, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Newbee.Young look to at least take this last outer tier tower with the Aegis still available for another 4+ minutes.
Yeah. TongFu is holding back, and Newbee.Young doesn't dare to go out, because every time they go out, they will get killed. If they don't go out, they will not find any farm, and obviously TongFu is doing a much better job. At the moment, they're completely spread all over the map. They farm their jungle, including also 2 other lanes. And, oh my god, Drow Ranger, okay, that's bad. That one is really bad. Blink forward after the Manta. Fast reaction, really fast reaction, but now the Clockwork is going in on that solo target, but Queen of Pain, easy BKB. There's the Sonic Wife, but that really climps just anything there in the backlines. We have Templar Assassin, BKB charge is over, but she's also not really afraid because there's still the Aegis. They finally get the Gyrocopter. There's a nice Echo Slam, but it's way too late. Just no cores left to actually dish damage out. So the only survivor there is the Shadow Fiend. That is really bad. It's a 4-for-0 trade. Everybody on decent HP. This is a guaranteed tier 2 tower, and nothing Newbee can do.
And still an Aegis in hand for the TA as well. And even then, I mean, you said it, Xingqiu got pretty much caught out, and they still take a very favorable engagement. Maybe the one saving grace for Newbee.Young here is respawn timers 24 minutes in are pretty damn short. So if they buy back on the gyro, they'll have 4 up in about 5 seconds. But 5 seconds may be a little bit too long for their mid lane of racks, which is already pretty much dropped.
Question is what? Oh my god, look at the Drow Ranger now. He doesn't care. He just does not care. Once that Desolator pops on the tower here, that tower is going down within seconds. New tracks are coming out. The last core now here is spawning. Oh, finally, there's the initiation here, but instantly blocked out. Kappa really has to be careful, gets the second pushback. He's going to die from the brain sap. However, TA is still working on with the BKB on. There's nothing that can actually stop them at the moment. Many BKBs, but it doesn't really work. The call down, Gyrocopter going balls deep, but he actually just, well, just dies away.
Yep, completely melts there to the minus armor. Unai going to respawn here. Blink forward with the refraction charges. Easy 2 hits onto that Bane. SCC going to be slowed up as well. LPC jumping in with the track gives him a little bit of extra move speed. But they're just going to force him back to base. And yeah, we'll just take your second lane of racks 25 minutes into the game. No problem with that. TongFu easily taking these engagements. And Newbee.Young going to tap out. TongFu looking just as sharp today as they did yesterday versus EP.
Yeah, and I think it's the right decision because, I mean, even with this fight diving almost to tier 4 towers and the fountain, like there was just no way they can hold their axes even with buybacks. And then, I mean, how long would it have taken to take down like the bottom racks? It was just a matter of maybe 5 minutes. TongFu picking greedy, farming greedily, and it works out for some reason. Newbee.Young not able to shut them down.
Yep, and TongFu going to 2-0 them tonight, securely rest in the first position overall, guys. We still got at 13 CET coming up for you. The next series, Braveheart versus Terrorblade, and then after that, Newbee Miracle versus Energy Pacemaker. So be sure to stick around. That is it for me, so hope you guys enjoyed the cast by me and Heflamoke. You can follow me over on Twitter at MRP_Dota. And my co-caster at Heflamoke, and of course for all things HeflaTV at HeflaTV. So thank you for joining us, guys. We're gonna have a small picnic in a little bit as we swap the streamers, but still 2 best of 2s coming your way this evening. Douyu TV round robin stage, 1 more day of this after today as well, and then on to the playoffs.